Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I'm Courtney. Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate every single person that has been giving me a shot. I know I've been having sound issues, quality issues, the whole thing. And I understand that it's only an audio podcast. There's no visual right now. And I've explained all of this a million times why, so I don't want to continue to repeat myself for those who have listened to me more than once. And hey, if you haven't heard, then you got to check out my podcast and see why I continue to have it be audio. I haven't fixed the intro or outro music yet. And so everybody that still listens and gives me a shot, and people that are tuning in for the first time or have been there since the beginning, I just genuinely can't tell you enough how much it means to me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, honestly. So hey, what's been keeping me up? What's been preventing me from getting any shut-eye? Relationships, relationships. And whether it's relationships with your coworkers, relationships with your kids, with your spouse, with your friends, just relationships and humans. Right now, there are so many videos out there showcasing the negativity, the negative crap that people do every single day. There's video upon video with people beating each other up and bullying each other and stealing and rioting and just, calling names and being, committing crimes and just being awful. And it's disgusting and it's disturbing, and it definitely will keep you awake at night for sure. But I want to talk about an incident that actually was positive and made me it gave it restored my faith in humanity. I've had a couple of things like this happen, and it made me cry when this happened to me the other day. So, long story short, I could not pay for my rent using my debit card. I was $20 negative, but I had some money in my savings account, and I couldn't move it over to be able to pay my debit card, so I had to go get I had to get 2 money orders from the post office. And I just was not thinking. I had already had a really bad day, and I hadn't slept. And I was in the middle of my bad day, and it was on my lunch break, and I had to go in and get money orders, and I had exactly enough to pay my rent, exactly enough. I didn't factor in the fact that I needed money to actually pay for the money orders because I was tired and not thinking. So I go up to pay, and I'm like, okay, finally, I can get my rent paid, because I was late, and I was stressing out, and I talked to my company, and they said that they would let me make payments on the late fee. And so I was like, okay. But then I go in to pay and realize I don't have the money for the money orders. And since there was 2 of them, all I needed was $6. And I'm like, oh my God, is $6 going to keep me from paying my rent? Like, it's due today. I have to pay it. I don't have $6. I don't have $6 in my account, and I don't have anybody that I can borrow it from. I didn't say any of this out loud, though. It was going through my head. And I was like, okay, how much are they? And she tells me, and she's like, they're $3 each. You have 2 of them, so $6. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess I'll be back. I just need to figure out how to get $6. And I was like, how late are you open? And next thing I know, the woman behind me is handing a $10 bill to the person working at the post office. And I look behind, and she's like, here you go, you can use this. And I was like, oh, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it, it's okay. And she's like, honey, it's okay. And she didn't say, honey, it's okay. She goes, no, it's okay. And hands the $10. And I just started bawling. I did. I started crying. And I know it sounds silly, but I'd already had such a bad day. I was exhausted. My emotions were all over the place. I was so stressed out that day. And everything up to that point had just been going wrong. Everything I tried to do was just failing. Nothing was going like I wanted it to. And I just wanted a break. I needed a break. And this person that I didn't know, stranger that I'd never, a stranger. I can't say stranger that I never met because that's redundant. A stranger means I've never met them. And just offers to pay that money. And I was like, it's okay. And she's like, no, take it. And then even the person behind the register at the post office also said, and I can give you some money if you need it too. And I absolutely broke into tears because I'd already been struggling with the fact that mankind just seemed, we're just turning on each other. And if we're turning on each other, then how on earth are we going to get through this life? We need people to support us. People need support. People need encouragement and motivation. And if all we're seeing is people divided and people abusing each other and bullying each other and threatening each other and trying to tear each other down, that's not united. And as we all know, united we stand. We stand tall and we stand uniformed and together. If we all band together as United States of America, we can get through a lot. I've seen it. I've seen it when hurricanes and tornadoes and floods have happened. I've seen it when 9/11 happened. I've seen it when this country has been at its wit's end and we've had a lot of terrible things happen. I've seen people band together and help each other. I know we have it in us, and I know that the news and social media likes to show every single negative video out there and not show the good videos. These people didn't know me, and they just saw that I was struggling and without even thinking about it, offered to pay. And usually I say no because I don't want people to help me. It's bit me in the butt before. People have held it over my head, and I don't want to owe anybody. And so I usually say no, but I had to pay my rent. I had to say yes. And when I started crying, I felt so stupid that I was crying, but it meant the world to me. And it meant a lot to me that my bad taste, for humans was gone. That's happened to me several times in my life. I was very young, and we were having it was back in 2007, and there was a horrible wind an ice storm in Seaside, where I'm from, and no cars could get in or out of Seaside, and my tires were bald, like NASCAR bald, like we're talking NASCAR bald. Single mom, 2 kids, trying to go to school on the weekends for CNA and work during the days. And, all my free time was being a mom, working, and becoming a CNA. But I had no money. I was broke, but my tires were absolutely dangerous to drive on. And I had gone into Les Schwab to get a quote on how much 4 used tires would be. And at the time, I was also going through a divorce. I had meningitis, and I was in the hospital for 11 days. Then I found out that I had uterine cancer and the very, very beginning stages of it. But I had to have a hysterectomy and in the hospital again. And there was just a lot of things I was trying to deal with at once. And they told me how much it was for used tires. And I said, okay, thank you so much. I'll come back when I can. I said, could I just put 2 of them on? Would it be okay to put 2 used tires? So the guy goes back, and he is back there for a while, and I'm thinking, gosh, he's asking if it's okay if, I could put 2 used tires on. And then next thing I know, I couldn't really see who it was, but someone walks around and I see the guy kind of talking to somebody, but I can't really tell who it was. And then the person walks back around and I look, and it's a gentleman who I know really well. It's someone whose kids I used to babysit for, and their son and my son went to school together, and Seaside is a small community. We all kind of know each other, and he was a dentist, and he knew me, and his daughter and I share the same name. And next thing I know, the guy from Les Schwab comes up and says, hey, can you get in on this and this date so we can put 4 new tires on your car for you? And I said, oh, I'm really sorry. I can't afford 4 new tires right now. I just want to see how much it is to get 2 used tires. And he goes, oh, no. 4 new tires have already been taken care of. A gentleman already came and wants to pay for it and insisted that they pay for it. And so I just want to know when you can get in. And I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? Like, I can't pay for this. Who paid for it? And they're like, they told me not to say. But I saw him walk back around. And like I said, I had seen him kind of walk back out into the lobby, and not to say anything to me or anything, but he's the only person I knew at that time. He's the only person I knew at that time. And he heard everything I was saying to the guy that worked at Les Schwab. He heard the whole story. And so either he or one of the people at Les Schwab, or both of them, got together and paid for me to have 4 new tires on my car. Again, I absolutely broke down and bawled, because at the time I just needed a break. I needed something to go my way. And so I know these things happen a lot. I have tried to pay it forward and do the same kinds of things for people whenever I can. I try to make someone's day by getting them a coffee, or buying them groceries, or helping them walk their dog, or going grocery shopping for them, or whatever it is. I try to do the same. And I think if we all focus on even doing one thing, the whole pay it forward, it would be a beautiful world, and not focusing on all of these videos that show negative upon negative upon negative. It just starts to bring you down. It starts to really keep you in that misery state, that misery loves company state. I mean, we do have to face reality. There is shit going on in the world, and we can't bury it, and we can't close our eyes, because even if we try to bury it and close our eyes, it's still there. So I'm not saying to pretend that the bad doesn't exist. Of course it does, and we should genuinely acknowledge that and try to fix it. We should all do our best to try to make the world a better place and easier, for someone if we can. Now, when I say easier, I don't mean giving them everything, and while they never try to work and never try to get a job and never try to do better for themselves. I don't mean a handout. I mean a hand up, give them a hand and help them up. Assist people. We could all use assistance. We could all use support. It takes a village. And right now, our village is turning on one another. We're being a bunch of cannibals. We're being a bunch of cannibals just going around eating each other alive. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that we're preying upon each other and that we're making all of these excuses for terrible behavior. I want to focus on the good that's being done. Man, what makes me cry? Weddings. Fake weddings, real weddings, they all make me cry. Weddings on TV that are between 2 characters that don't actually exist make me cry. Real weddings make me cry. And I used to be like, why do I bawl like a baby every flippin' time I watch a wedding? And then I think, well, because for one, it's a positive thing. It's a happy thing. Two people are in love and vowing their commitment to each other. That's a wonderful, beautiful thing. Two people in love, beautiful. But it's also because I want that. I want to know what it feels like to be happily married, because unfortunately, the first time I got married, I was way too young, and we got married for the wrong reasons, the absolute wrong reasons, and it didn't work, unfortunately. I was 20, and I married my high school sweetheart, and I had got pregnant, and we thought that it was the best thing to do. We still care about each other. We still talk. He is the father of both of my sons. And I'm glad that I married him, because had I not, I wouldn't, I had my oldest son was 9 months old when we got married, but we felt that we should get married for him. And then when I had my second son, we were married, but unfortunately we filed for divorce, 5 months after we had our second child. And it didn't, that's a paper towel sound, not like a fart. Some bugs are on my windowsill, and it's driving me crazy. Again, this is why I can't do a podcast where I sit down, why I can't do audio, because I have to be moving around. I have to be doing stuff. I have to be cleaning. I have to be walking. I have to be doing something. I could still do audio. I could still do video, I suppose, if I get one of those handheld, whatever they're called, selfie sticks. I had one, have no idea where it went. I suppose I could do a podcast like that. But I'm just a sucker for weddings, because I want to know what it's like to be truly happy in a relationship. Again, I've never said it's all someone else's fault, because I'm the one that keeps picking the same type. I keep picking people that I'm like, oh, they're broken but. Oh, they're broken but. Oh, they're an addict but. Oh, they're abusive but. Oh, they've cheated but. That's my fault. That's on me. I keep picking the wrong people, thinking that, it's the classic. I think I'm going to change them. And I'm no picnic. I don't think I'm perfect. I have my flaws, for sure. But I'm older now, thank the Lord, and I have learned some things. Thank the Lord, because God, what a bummer would it be if I've gone through all these relationships only to not come out ahead. And I've always been in long-term relationships. I have always been in very long relationships. I'm not like a J-Lo or a Taylor Swift, where I'm in one for 3 months and break up. I don't get engaged a million times like J-Lo and jump from boyfriend to boyfriend like the both of them. Are either of them ever single for longer than like 2 months? It's crazy. But I do long-term relationships, and right now I am having that break. And I just love weddings, because I like the idea of being truly happy and having someone that is safe. I want to know what it feels like to be truly safe and protected and have that trust. I want to know what it's like to have a relationship that you don't have to worry about saying or doing the wrong thing, or, I want to feel safe and secure and stable. I have been seeking that out since I was a kid. Unfortunately, my mom was married 3 different times, and none of them were stable or secure. And then my dad, who I call my dad, he's technically my stepdad, he was always good to me. He always had my back. He always protected me. And I felt safe and secure with him. But my mom and him were not safe and secure. They were very, very volatile. They were unhealthy. They did not have a good relationship. They fought and threw glass and things at each other and screamed and yelled at each other and punched things and threw things, and it was not good. I mean, when they got along, but when they didn't, they didn't. And usually it was because of drinking when they didn't. And so I felt safe with who, again, I consider my father, my dad. He was always good to me and had my back a lot of times when my mom did not. But I have just grown up around a lot of messed up things. And so I want the stability, you know? And I look at marriages and I'm like, yes, God, it's like the beginning of a new relationship is so exciting. And when you see couples that have been together for 40 years and 60 years, and the only reason that they're not together is because unfortunately one passed away, what a beautiful thing that you don't ever see anymore. I'm not saying it's beautiful when someone passes away. I'm saying that when relationships actually work and they last, man, and they're, you know, it's people that trust each other, people that are stable, people that don't cheat, that don't belittle one another, that don't abuse one another verbally, mentally, physically. That's rare nowadays, unfortunately. These things keep me up. I just think, man, I can't imagine dating. I don't want to date. I just want to take some time for, you know, I've been in many long-term relationships and I don't know. But at the same time, I don't want to sound like one of those people that's like, I'm taking me time. I'm taking some time for me. I'm just doing me. I saw a video where someone was making fun of J-Lo saying that, and that when she says that, it means that AKA she can't find anybody, or AKA she's been turned down. I haven't even tried to be turned down. I haven't even put myself out there to be turned down because I genuinely just don't want to right now. I really do just have some shit to figure out and to do. And I'm not saying that a man gets in the way of that. I'm not a man hater at all. I've always been on the side of men. I'm not some crazy feminist that hates men at all. But it's good not to jump from relationship to relationship. That's a good thing, right? You're not supposed to. You need to take some time. And people like J-Lo and Taylor Swift can show you that it doesn't work to jump from relationship to relationship to relationship. And it doesn't work to go around acting like a prima donna or going with broken people and then blaming it on anybody but yourself. So, those are things keeping me up. I want the world to start focusing on the good that's out there. And if we're going to focus on the bad, I want it to be things like, let's bring awareness to the fact that there are a million animals out there that are being abused and neglected, and people continue to still have freaking Westminster. I fucking hate Westminster. It's a pageant for dogs, and people just have puppy mills because of it. We need to bring down puppy mills. We need to bring down dog hoarding situations. We need to bring down dog fighting rings. We need to bring down anybody that, of course, is abusing or neglecting dogs. And I'm sorry, but when you're having puppy after puppy after puppy, I totally believe in what Bob Barker says. Have your pet spayed or neutered. We don't need more puppies. Puppies are adorable. Who doesn't love a puppy? We all love puppies. But right now, there are millions of dogs right now that need homes and that need to be saved. We don't need puppies. We need the dogs that are currently alive, the dogs that currently are out there, that are in kill shelters, that are in abusive, neglectful homes. We need them to be, to have a home. We need them to be adopted. We don't need more puppies. And also, please, please remember to put shoes on your dog's feet when it's hot, when it's really hot, or when it's really cold. If it's too cold or too hot for your own feet, then it's too cold or too hot for your dogs. Just a little FYI, just a little sponsor thing out there. Anyway, what else is on my mind? Polls. Everybody wants to talk about polls show that Democrats blah blah blah, polls show that Republicans blah blah blah, polls show that gay men, polls show that straight men blah blah blah. Who is taking the poll? Where are the polls being taken at? Who is being polled? Because a lot of people will say, well, 97% of those polled said that Obama is fantastic. Okay, well, who did you ask? Did you ask a bunch of blue states? Did you go to a bunch of very liberal cities and ask a bunch of really liberal people who they prefer, Trump or Obama? Because then I'm sure you're correct. I'm sure that your poll is correct. Out of those polled, meaning those polled, who did you poll? Was the poll accurate? Did you poll all of America? Did you poll black people, white people, Hispanic people, Asian people, people of all races, all ages, both genders? Notice how I said both genders, not all genders. Did you poll people from all parties? You know, Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever else there is, communist, socialist. Did you poll people from all parties, all backgrounds, all walks of life? Probably not. Odds are no. Odds are your poll is really inaccurate because it was a rigged poll. It was a totally rigged poll. If you're going to poll people, you need to actually do accurate polling by getting people from every background, all walks of life. And it needs to be people like a good poll, like with thousands and thousands and thousands of people. So I hate it when people say that. I got in an argument with someone on social media about that. Well, a poll taken recently said that if Obama and Trump were to run for president, they would vote for Obama. But then she put on there, these are the odds. These are the something odds, sports odds or something like that, on who people would bet on. And it shows people would bet on Obama. And I'm like, first of all, that's not a poll. That isn't a poll. That's just showing that who people would bet on winning. And they would bet on Obama winning. Well, guess what? People also bet that tariffs wouldn't work. They had all kinds of experts, tons and tons of experts and tons of people betting that the tariffs were not going to work and they were going to be the downfall of America. Our economy was going to crash and it would just be the downfall of life as we know it. And Trump would just ruin the economy because of tariffs. And all the experts, and everybody that we talk to have said that. Everybody has said it. Guess what? The experts and everybody that they were talking about was wrong. It turns out the people that they asked were pretty biased. Just like when they thought that the Eagles and Patriots, when they played the Super Bowl a few years back, when the Eagles and Patriots played the Super Bowl, the experts and the odds were for the Patriots. The odds were for the Patriots. The experts said the Patriots were going to win. But guess what? We all know what happened. The Patriots did not win. The Eagles won. So, odds are just odds. It means there's still a shot at someone else winning. Just like they didn't think that Trump was going to win against Kamala. With all of their fraudulent, scandalous crap, with all of their hoaxes, with all of their misinformation and censoring and lies and hypocrisy and violence, they were sure that Hillary was going to win, and they were sure that Kamala was going to win. But guess what? We all know the outcome of both of those situations. Hillary lost, Kamala lost. So first of all, talking about odds, that's not a poll. So we need to get the difference between odds and polls, and we need to know the difference. And also, again, a poll only matters if you are polling absolutely people from all walks of life, all ages, all races, from all backgrounds, all political backgrounds, all everything. And you're taking it in all different cities, from all different states, from all different people. Otherwise, a poll is a very biased thing. So don't tell me polls show blah, blah, blah. That's a dumb thing to say. We don't care about polls. At least I don't. I don't give a crap about polls. I don't put any weight into what a poll says. And I love how, again, anytime someone has got on social media and been like, Trump is a absolute rapist. He's a rapist. He's a known rapist. He's a criminal rapist. Everybody knows he's a rapist. Everybody knows he's a criminal. And then when you go, oh, really? Can you show me any evidence of this? Can you show me where he was convicted of this? Can you show me anything? Well, no, but he is. Stop making claims. You're making a claim. You're making a statement. If you're going to make a claim and a statement, you should, if you were a smart person, have something to back up your claim. Otherwise, you're just going out there being a lemming. You're just going out there regurgitating what everybody else is saying because you want to be cool. Because you want to look cool too. Just like when they show these protesters. This is also something keeping me up. Video upon video of people going up to protesters and saying, hey, what are you protesting? And half of them have no effing idea what they're protesting, who they're protesting, or why they're protesting, other than the fact that they got paid to do so. They got paid to go out there and scream and yell what everybody else is screaming and yelling. They just mimic. They hear somebody else screaming and yelling stuff, and they're like, oh, that's what we're here for? Oh, okay, good to know. Good to know why I'm getting this dirty money. Good to know I'm getting money for just regurgitating what everybody else is saying, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. Video upon video of people being questioned what they're protesting against, who they're protesting, why they're protesting, to answer questions about the company that they're protesting or the person they're protesting, and no one has answers to it. So you're protesting a company or a person when you have absolutely no idea who the company is, who's running the company, what they stand for, what they're doing. You're just literally holding up a sign that someone else made for you just so you can get a paycheck, and you're going to call yourself a good person. You're going to act like you're walking around being a good person. That is having zero morals or zero ethics, and you look like a moron. And that's embarrassing for you, and the internet is forever, like I like to say. So you're just going out there literally being a lemming and not having any idea what you stand up for. So you're not going to take the time and energy to actually stand up for something that you truly believe in. You're not going to take the time and energy to write a sign and go out and take a day off. Let's face it, these people aren't working. We all know they're not working. How they're making a paycheck and how they're working, quote, quote, is by being paid protesters. That's their job. Their job is being a paid protester. And how shameful, because they could actually protest things that maybe they believe in. Maybe they believe in zoos being awful, or against animal neglect, or against sex trafficking. But instead, they like to protest pro-sex trafficking, pro-rape, pro-murder, pro-crime, pro-abortion, pro-kill, kill, 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 kill. They can't get enough killing. It's just kill and kill and kill and kill. Mutilation, mutilation, riot, riot, burn, burn, burn. Promote assassination, promote assassination, promote assassination, promote fighting. It's just hate upon hate. And again, it keeps me up because I know that there are good people out there because I've met them. My customers are amazing. My friends are amazing. My family is amazing. And, well, the 3 left I have in my family, well, anyway, I won't get into that. But there are very, very, very good people out there, and we need to showcase those people. And if we're going to protest, we need to protest things that we actually know what we're talking about. Protest things that we truly, genuinely believe in. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice if we stood up for the things that we actually believe in and not the things we thought were cool and were going to make us cool and were going to make us famous and make us money? Wouldn't it be cool if we actually stood up for the underdog and the good people in the world? Wouldn't it be cool if we helped out children and animals and elderly and vets? Those that keep talking about Republicans are making children starve. Again, I ask you to provide any evidence of this. Please show me where Republicans are making people starve. If you are an illegal alien, you no longer qualify for benefits from this country because you are an illegal alien. If you have committed fraud in order to get assistance from the government, you no longer qualify because you have committed a crime and you have been taking from the government things that you don't deserve, things you don't qualify for, and you are fraudulent about it, which is a crime. So no one's taking away anything unless you are a criminal and or an illegal immigrant, which you are, if you are an illegal immigrant, you are a criminal. But it's also being taken away from legal citizens who got assistance by doing so fraudulently, by lying, by putting false things on their paperwork, which is good because there are people out there that actually deserve to get assistance. Like the elderly, like the vets, like, single moms and dads and people that are working, that actually have a job, or people genuinely trying to get a job, or single moms that are staying home and can't really afford to work because they can't afford daycare, but they just want the assistance for right now until they can get a job. I've said over and over again, I have no problem with people getting assistance from the government as long as it's assistance and you're not planning on spending your entire life just mooching off of others. You're doing it to get a leg up. You're doing it to get help because you're trying to work, because you're trying to pay your bills, because you're trying to do the right thing. So when I ask people, provide me with evidence to support your claims, and no one can, and then you still get on social media and you make video after video making these false claims, you should be in jail because that's defamation of character to the president, and you are causing the president harm. You're causing him to have assassination attempts. When you call him Hitler and you talk about chaos all the time and you promote and condone the assassination of him and you compare him to Hitler, these are things that you should be held responsible for. And it's insane to me how much certain people get away with. People are just really taking this opportunity to see how much they can get away with, instead of taking this opportunity to band together and say, fuck you, nothing is going to divide us. We are the United States of America. We, the people, are going to come together, and you are not going to divide us. We are going to show the good videos. We are going to show how good humankind can be. I want to see more positive videos. This is why I take breaks all the time, and why I don't always do my podcast, and why I'm never going to be very popular. I'm never going to be very popular because I hardly ever get on social media, even though I should get on there and do positive, happy videos, which I do. I do that too. But sometimes I have to distance myself because it just gets overwhelming. And then I think, but I know that there are good people out there because I'm surrounded by them every day, and good things have happened to me. People have helped me out. People have made me smile and laugh when I've needed it. So go out and make someone smile. Don't let other people divide us. I am friends with everybody from all walks of life. Democrats, Republicans, independents, Black, white, Asian, Mexican, Islander, whatever it is. Tall, short, skinny, fat, trans, straight, gay. I really, really, really do not care. I care what your character is like. I care who you are as a person and how you treat others. And I think most people do think that way, and I think we have a bad habit of just exposing all of the bad instead of the good people. So I'm trying really hard to focus on that. And I know that all the people out there that are listening to my podcast must be good people, because like I said, this podcast isn't always it doesn't really keep you awake. which is good if you're trying to go to sleep and you're listening to me because, hey, you want someone to put you to sleep. Maybe my podcast puts you to sleep. I don't know. But for whatever reason that keeps you listening, thank you. You are a good person, that's for sure. So let's control what we can. Let go of the things we cannot. Let's breathe it out. Let's stretch it out. Let's focus on at least one good thing. It's a sunny day out. It's my day off. I'm going to try to get some stuff done around the house and catch up on some things. I'm going to listen to some good music. And I'm going to go on a walk, although it's a little hot for a walk. But I'm going to be thankful for the day and thankful for the kindness that I do see. And I'm going to be thankful for Trump because he's gone out of his way for us in America and people in other countries like Trump as well. There are a lot of people in other countries that really like Trump and what he's doing, and there's a lot of people in our country that really like Trump. So I'm going to focus on those people. Thank you so much for listening, as you always do. I hope that you tell a friend, a neighbor, a spouse, a coworker. I hope you tell someone and that they also turn around and listen to the ramblings of an insomniac. And we'll just start a whole thing. It'll be cool to listen to the ramblings of an insomniac. Although, like I tell you, don't do things just to be cool. Do it because you want to, you know? So thank you so much for listening. Until next time.